everyone, it's JeremyTechno, and recently the Super Mario Bros. Franchise has celebrated its 30th anniversary. Now, I grew up with the Super Mario Bros. Franchise, you know? I grew up with Super Mario Bros. 2, 3, and Worlds on the Game Boy Advance. So in a way, I grew up with the classics. And so for Mario's 30th anniversary, Nintendo decided to make a little game called Super Mario Maker. And honestly, the box art is like really cool too. It's like a box and everything, and it even came with like an art book. It's just like, it's really cool. You don't need to worry about that though, because we're talking about the game, not the art book. And so, let's review Super Mario Maker. Released on the Nintendo Wii U on 9/11/2015. And you know, Nintendo, you could have picked a better date to release this game on. I mean, come on. Anyways, let's just get into the review now, shall we? So Super Mario Maker is essentially a tool for players to create their own levels and have other people play them. Honestly, I think this is a really cool approach for a Mario game, because Nintendo's pretty much made all the Mario games they could do, you know, from whether it was 2D or 3D, and I think to celebrate its 30th anniversary, having the players create their own unique levels is a really nice change of pace. Plus, it does remind me of the Kaizo Mario days, which I dabble in a few ROM hacks here and there. I did play Cousin Mario, hard as hell, but also extremely fun, and so it was really cool to see people's interpretations of those types of levels. So obviously in Super Mario Maker, you can make your own levels, and you can also play other people's levels. I'm not really interested in making my own levels, because I'm not really that creative to create a great level or anything. I'm more interested in playing other people's levels and enjoying the game that way. Despite that though, I will be talking about the level creation, because I do think it's important to the game, obviously. But before that, I want to talk about the single player that they have, which is the 10 Mario Challenge. What the 10 Mario Challenge is that you have 10 lives to beat levels created by the Nintendo developers. I think it's really cool that we get to play levels made by the actual developers, and it's a great way to show you what you can do in the level creation. The one criticism I have, however, is that some of these levels are just recreations of already existing levels in previous Mario games, just with slight alterations. I felt like they could have been a little more creative, but hey, this mode is essentially a way to show you what you can make, and for that, it does a good job. Now, there's not that many levels, so this single player one will not fill you up. This is an online game, so you're gonna have to have a good internet connection, or at least a decent one, in order to enjoy this game. Luckily, the internet isn't as demanding as other games you would think of, like Splatoon, for example, but you still need one. So if you don't have any internet connection, just don't even bother with this game. Well, now, it's time to get into the level creation process, and I'll be honest with you, I'm gonna kind of go over this a bit quick, since I'm not that interested in it, but let's just get it over with anyways. Now, when you're creating a level, you can actually pick between 4 games, and this is what I kind of forgot to mention, is when you're playing Super Mario Maker, the levels can be Super Mario 1 themed, Super Mario Bros. 3 themed, Super Mario World themed, or New Super Mario Bros. U themed. And they each have their own set of mechanics as well. One just has the running and jumping, as well as the mushroom, flower, and star. 3 has the raccoon leaf, as well as the ability to pick up shells. World has the cape feather and the ability to spin jump, and U has wall jumping, as well as that little twirl that you do in the air to gain extra height. It's just really cool to see Nintendo implement these 4 games with their own mechanics. It's just really cool. So for that reason, players can create levels with those specific mechanics in mind. It's just really awesome. The level creation process is actually very simple, which I'm really glad by. Starting off, there's barely any options, and you only get to choose from Super Mario Bros. And New Super Mario Bros. U. Luckily, unlocking all of the options is rather easy, as you just have to put a bunch of shit on screen, and eventually everything will open up. When the game was first released, you had to wait daily for everything to be unlocked, and thank God Nintendo changed it, because that would have made me lose my mind. The only thing that really sucks though, is you only have a limited amount of levels that you can actually create. You see, when you create a level and post it online, you can have other people play it. In order to make more levels, you have to have other players play it and start the level. But here's the thing, it's really hard to get your level noticed out there, and there are some really good level designers that just don't get enough love. It really is a shame, because some of my favorite levels are actually good designed levels. I'll talk about this more in the section where I talk about playing other people's levels, but these people really do get shafted, and it really does discourage people making their own levels. Like I said, I'm not big into the whole level creation process myself, but I can appreciate someone who actually knows what they're doing when they're creating a level. And it's just really sad to see people not getting the recognition that they deserve. I do understand the reasoning for this, because if you're making bad levels and no one likes them and no one stars them, no one's going to want to play your levels, so this is a good process to kind of get rid of that, but it also is flawed because there are people who don't get recognized and so cannot post more levels that they want to do. It's a shame, really. Nintendo did actually recently update this game, and one of those changes was adding checkpoints, and thank God for that. Because playing those really long, difficult levels and dying right at the end was a pain in the ass to go through all over again, just because no one did checkpoints. And honestly, they should have had checkpoints starting out, but at least they added it in, so it's fine now. Honestly, the level creation process really is intuitive, and it's really easy to use, and there is quite a bit of stuff to use. Really, all you need to do to make a level is drag the object that you want to put on the map, and bada bing, bada boom, you're done. Just keep doing that with landscapes, items, and enemies, and your level is complete. Hell, the level I made, I randomly put a bunch of blocks on screen, and that's how it came to be. Of course, I made slight changes to actually make it playable, but, you know. If you would like to play my level, my code is on the screen right now. It's not the greatest level in the world, but hey, it's pretty fun if I do say so myself. And that's it for the level creation process. Now, like I said, I apologize that I didn't go as into depth with it, but like I said, I'm not really interested in the level creation process. I didn't buy this game to make levels. What I did buy this game for, however, was to play other people's creations. And boy, did I have fun with that. At this time, I do believe there was like over 1 million levels, maybe even more than that. Which is crazy to think about since the game just got released not too long ago. And for this reason alone, I think it's worth buying for the simple fact that no matter what, you will have an infinite amount of levels to play. This game is essentially a never-ending Mario game, and I think that's awesome. Now, of course, there are a bunch of mediocre levels in there, so that's probably a bad thing, but there's still a lot of great levels out there. Now, in online mode, you can look up levels by most popular or most recent, or even by creators themselves, or you can do the 100-Man Mario Challenge. In the 100-Man Mario Challenge, you get 100 lives. Now, that may seem like a lot of lives, but trust me, in expert difficulty, you're gonna need them. Unlike the 10 Mario Challenge where you play a bunch of Nintendo-created levels, you actually play levels by the community itself. And let me tell you, there's a lot of dickish levels in there. What's really cool, though, is that if you don't like a specific level, you can just swipe the gamepad and skip that level entirely and get a different one. I think this is really good because if you're playing a really difficult level and you die right at the end and you don't want to replay the entire level over again, but you feel like you know what this level had to offer, you can just move on to the next one. Now, I guess you wouldn't be able to star the person level in this case, but hey, I mean, it's their fault for making such a difficult level, right? Now, at the end of the 100... Now, in terms of the story in this game, at the end of the 100-Man Mario Challenge, you do rescue Princess Peach, but you do that every time you do the 100-Man Mario Challenge, so it's not even important. Now, there is a reward for the 100-Man Mario Challenge, and that is the Mystery Mushroom. Now, I didn't mention this when I was mentioning the different games in the level creation, but Super Mario Bros. 1 does have more than just running and jumping. Nintendo added the Mystery Mushroom in Super Mario Bros. 1. What the Mystery Mushroom essentially is it's a mushroom that, upon grabbing it, can transform you into a specific character. You can transform into someone like Link and Pikachu, to even Mega Man and Sonic. Not only that, but they each have their own specific sound effects and music cues from their own respective games. It's really cool. Meaning, you can create levels based around these characters and then put the mystery mushrooms in there so you can play as that character. Now, granted, these are 8-bit versions of them since they only appear in the Mario 1 level themed levels, but that's okay. And hey, it gives Mario 1 a little bit extra flavor in there. The whole mystery mushroom thing is a cool idea, and what's really good about this is that a lot of the mystery mushroom costumes you can unlock by tapping amiibos on the gamepad. However, you don't need to use the amiibos to unlock them, as I've said, you can just complete the 100-Man Mario Challenge and unlock all of them that way. I think this is awesome because Nintendo doesn't force you to use amiibos to unlock them, unlike certain other games. Now, to be fair, this is extra content for the other games, so it's not like Nintendo's forcing you for that, but I just think it's really cool that Mystery Mushrooms isn't really restricted to the amiibos, and you can just get them all in the game. You did good on that, Nintendo, and I'm proud of you for that. Now, I do want to talk about certain types of levels that you get to play in online mode. Now, there are 3 types of levels I want to talk about. The good design levels, the really hard ones, and the plain shit ones. The really good design levels are those levels that aren't really noticed, and are actually good design-wise, has a lot of things going for it, and overall is just a good time. They may be as simple as recreating a level from an existing game, to creating a level based on another franchise, to even creating a really unique level with its own set of puzzles and obstacles. Honestly, those are one of my favorites, and it's really cool to see what people can do. Sadly, as I said before, they're not really as noticed as some of the other ones, which is really a shame because a lot of these are really good design-wise. I just wish these got more love, is all I'm saying. Now we move on to the really hard ones. Pretty much, I'm talking about like the Kaizo Mario type levels. Those levels that make you do insane shit, like jump on a turtle shell at a specific time or else you'll die, or dickish enemy placements, or hidden blocks everywhere, or just having you do specific things in general or else you'll die. And don't let me forget those types of levels that pretty much make you die so you can memorize the level layouts so you can actually complete it. I'll be honest with you, I'm not too crazy about these levels. I mean, I like it when it's hard, but not when it's too hard. I mean, come on, I'm still pretty tight. Nah, that's not a good joke, I can't say that. I like it when it's hard, don't get me wrong, but there's such a thing as too hard. And honestly, whenever I'm playing the 100-Man Mario Challenge, a lot of the levels I skip are the really hard ones. It's kind of a shame too, since a lot of these levels are the more popular ones. And I guess that is what people like, but I would rather see the more unique levels shine more. And like I said, I'm not saying this is a bad thing. I mean, like I said, hard levels have their merit, and I like playing them as well. I just wish people would tone them down a bit, is all. And also add some damn checkpoints for crying out loud. Like, it really does suck when I'm playing a really hard level and I'm almost at the end, and I died a split second and I have to start all over. Honestly, if you added checkpoints throughout the level, I would enjoy it a lot more. Just design your levels a little better, is all I'm saying. And now we get to the shit levels, and let me just show you an example of what I'm talking about. That, my friends, is what we call an auto level. What an auto level pretty much is it's pretty much a level designed around where you don't move at all and crazy shit happens. Yes, it's cool to see the first time, but you don't do anything. You're not interacting with it in any way, and these are some of the stupidest levels I've seen. I mean, yes, they're cool, and they're really hard to make. I get that. But I want to play the damn game. And I admit, when I see these levels, I do play them, quote unquote, but that's honestly just because it's an easy level to get through to complete the 100-Man Mario Challenge. And I really hate those auto levels that go on for so long. Like, if you're gonna make a damn auto level, make it last a couple of seconds. Why do you gotta make it last an eternity? It's so bad that during an auto level, I literally got up to pour a drink, came back, and it was still going on. And honestly, these are some of the more popular levels as well. In fact, some of the top starred levels are the auto levels, and it really is a shame because, as I've said, it outshines the people who make actual good levels. I realize I've kind of been ranting this whole video, but let me assure you this game is really good. I mean, that's just really all the cons here, and of course you're gonna have a lot of cons when it's a game based around other people. And really, it isn't as bad as I'm making it out to be. As I've said, if you don't like a specific level, you can just swipe it until you find a level that you do like. And like I said, even if a level is hard, there are quite a few who aren't crazy hard or impossible that you can still enjoy. And there are some people that I can see being legit level designers because some of their levels really are creative. I mean, throughout this video, I've probably been showing a bunch of levels that I really enjoyed playing through, so those are some examples of levels that you can see in the game. I do think my favorite part about this game, though, is that there's literally an infinite amount of levels you can play in this game. This is essentially a Mario game that will last an eternity. No matter what, you're going to be able to find a level to play in this game. Now, whether that level is good or bad, that may depend. But it still doesn't change the fact that you'll find a new level to play no matter what. And I think that's the best part about this game. you'll never run out of a level to play, so this game pretty much has infinite replayability. Honestly, I would recommend this game to any Mario fan or platformer fan. And also, if you like really hard games, as I've said, there's a lot of really hard levels in this game. I mean, I see some crazy shit pulled off with certain peoples on Twitch and YouTube, and it really is turning into a whole community, which I think is awesome, because Mario is my second favorite Nintendo franchise, the first being Pokemon, and so I just think it's really cool to see Mario getting all this love. Overall, I think this is the perfect game to celebrate Mario's 30th anniversary. It really is giving back to the fans by letting them create their own levels. And I can see this as a way for up-and-coming level designers to get noticed. Pretty much what I'm saying is, get this game. It's actually really good. Like, I know I was complaining a lot in this video, but it's because I'm passionate about this game. Like, I actually really like it. So yeah, just buy the game. And with that, I'm done with the video. Now, if you haven't noticed, this video is different from my last review. The reason for that is this was unscripted. In my last review, the Splatoon review, that review was scripted, and I felt like it wasn't really me talking, if that makes any sense. Don't get me wrong, scripted content is good and all, I just don't think it works for me. This entire video was unscripted, and honestly, I would like to know if you thought it was any better. I mean, maybe my thoughts weren't as streamlined as the previous video, but I don't know. I feel like I might have enjoyed this better. I mean, I won't know for sure until I actually edit it and see if it's any good or not, but I gotta say, I actually enjoyed recording this a lot more than the previous video. I mean, personally, I prefer doing videos without a script, so this is already better. Let me know if you prefer this over the Splatoon review, so I can know whether I can do this without a script or not. But yeah, and with that, I've been JeremyTechno, and I'll see you guys in my next review, which will be Pokken Tournament. So stay tuned, guys. See you guys then.